Hello and welcome everyone to my Java development with Spring Boot tutorial, part 6, JPA one-to-one mapping. The question is, what is one-to-one relationship? Suppose that each player in the user database has exactly one profile and that each profile is associated to only one player. So the player and the profile is one-to-one relationship. Another case is that each player has at most one profile and each profile is associated to only one player. That is also one-to-one relationship. Let us create the profile entity. We need to annotate with entity. We also need to annotate with table, so we can specify the table name. We specify the primary key for the profile table is ID. Type in integer. Let us make the profile entity simple. It has only two other fields, email address and occupation. We want to make the column in the table a little bit different. The name is a little bit different. So we annotate with column. We specify the name equal email address and length. This is the content of the column length, 28. And for the occupation field, we leave it default. Now we are ready to do one-to-one mapping. Each profile is associated to one player, so we have a player object here. And in the player entity, each player has exactly one profile, so we also have one profile in here. Next, we annotate the profile member with one-to-one. Cascade tab is off. Also, we need to annotate join column name equal profile ID. This tell JPA that please generate for me a column name profile ID in the player table. And this profile ID is a foreign key to the profile table. And reference column name is ID. It tells JPA that the column to join is the player table column ID. Note on the cascade, we specify the cascade type is all. But it means that it will cascade on all operations. For example, if we have an update or delete on the player, then it will also update or delete on the associated profile, and vice versa. Next, we are going to annotate one-on-one mapping on the profile entity. On this side, it's very simple. All we have to do is specify map by profile. This profile is the name of the member in the player where we specify one-to-one mapping. Note that we place the join column annotation on the player entity. So the player entity is the owner of the relationship. It owns a foreign key to the profile entity. And also the technique we are using is called map by foreign key. Each player has exactly one profile, so we should specify nullable is false here. Also, before we test, make sure that the database are empty, no table there. So now it's empty, no table. Let us restart the app. We will expect some exception telling that it's failed to drop the foreign key because we have no table, so no foreign key to drop. As you can see that it started successfully, and it complained that user player table does not exist, and while it was trying to drop the foreign key. And let's take a look at the table. So it was empty before, but now after we start up the app, it showed that we had two tables. Let's describe table later. We see that we have three columns: the name, ID, and profile ID. We ask JPA to generate for us the foreign key profile ID. Profile table. In the profile table, we have ID, email address. Remember that the field name was email, and we specified in the column annotation the name of the database table column is email address. So we have here, and we specified that we want the length 128 here, and occupation we left it as default. That's why we have the occupation name, and the length is 255. So now let's prove it that if we restart the application, we don't have that foreign key constraint issue again. So successfully started without exception. And we can go to the table, go to database and check. Show table, we still have the same two table. And we describe profile, we see we have the same information as before. Describe player, also the same. Next, we are going to create the profile repository. And we need to extend from the JPA repository. That's it for the profile repository. Next, we need to create the users package and the user service. We also need the user service info. Extend from user service. Actually, implement. And we need to annotate it with a service. Then we need to move this method over to the user service. And also the implementation over to the user service import. We need to override the player repository here. We need to override the user service here. Next, we need to move the symbol service to the Jest package. Now, it's clean. Let us test our one-to-one mapping. We use the Postman again. Same. Oh, we need to start up the server. Okay, let's try again. Let's go. Now we check the database. We have one record. Check the profile also. We also have one record. Now let's issue the test one more time. This time we change something different. Same. Stop here again. Let's go again. Postman says it's 200. Okay. In the database, what do we see? We have two records in the database. The newly added one is a player. And in the profile table, we also have two records. So far, our one-to-one mapping works as expected. Let us test the case of deletion. First, we are going to add a delete endpoint. So assume that we have a user service delete player. By ID. Let us restart the app and test. Started. So all the table was dropped and recreated. So there's no content in the tables. We need to issue the save player request again in the Postman to recreate those records in the player table and the profile table that we send now. We got back to it, okay. So now we check the table. Player, return one record. Profile table also has one record. And the primary key values are 1 and 1. So now from the Postman we can create a delete endpoint. ID is 1. So let's set the breakpoint here to see if it really hit our endpoint. Symbol controller. Okay, we are ready. Send. Okay, good. So the REST endpoint delete works. Let it go. So it hit the service method, and the service method asks the player repository to delete by ID. Let it go. Postman got 200 OK again, which is a good thing. So we believe that because we have the cascade equal cascade tab.or, which means that if we delete the player, we also have the profile to be deleted. So let's check that. Now we check the profile table, select all, select star, empty, good thing. The player is also empty. So it works correctly as expected. Cascade delete works. End of part 6. I hope that you found my video helpful, and come back for other parts of the tutorial, part 7 and 8. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.